This meeting being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Specifically, notice of this meeting was emailed to the Daily Record and the Morris Newsbee on January 6, 2022, and posted on the Township of Morris website. The agenda and resolutions for the meeting are available on www.morristwp.com under Agenda Center. Certain portions of this meeting may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and/or other matters as outlined in the Sunshine Law. The organization meeting is primarily ceremonial in nature, and therefore there will be no public comment this evening. Notice to members of the governing body and the township staff, any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purposes of township business. I'll take attendance. Mr. Grazel? Okay, Ms. Gariglia?
Here.
Mr. Dorothy?
Here.
Mr. Ravitz?
Here.
Ms. Wilson?
Here.
Okay, first up, I'd like to introduce Sister Maris Larkin, Sisters of Charity, Principal of Assumption School, who will provide the invocation for us this evening.
Let us pray. God, we ask for your blessings on the Township of Morris, and we ask that you send down upon those who hold office here the spirit of wisdom, charity, justice, and a steadfast purpose, that they may faithfully serve in their positions and promote the well-being of all people. Once again, we are grateful and thankful to Mayor Mark Joffe and the entire Township Council for taking on this mantle of responsibility. Therefore, Lord, I'm asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid conflicting interests and issues, a sense of welfare and true needs of our township, a keen thirst for justice and righteousness, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, and personal peace in their lives and joy in their tasks. And this we pray in the name of all that we hold sacred and holy, and that we hold good and right and true. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Business Administrator Tim Quinn.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The next order of business is going to be a swearing-in ceremony for committee member Jeffrey R. Grazel. I'm going to read the statement of determination for the November 8th, 2022 general election, certifying the election of Mr. Grazel for a 3-year term. A statement of determination of the Board of Canvassers relative to an election held in the Township of Morris, County of Morris, and State of New Jersey for the election of certain municipal officers for the municipality on the 8th day of November 2022. The said board does determine that at the said election, Jeff Grazel was elected to Township Committee for 3 years. I do hereby certify that the foregoing is a true, full, and correct statement of the determination of the Board of Canvassers therein mentioned. In witness whereof I have hereunto sent my hand this 18th day of November 2022. I'd like to invite Mr. Grazel and Mayor Jason Carr of Morris Plains, who will administer the oath of office this evening.
My son Jacob will be holding the Bible.
His son Jacob is going to be holding the Bible for him this evening.
Okay. You all set? Left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. I, Jeff Grazel,
I, Jeff Grazel,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of committeeman
of the office of committeeman
according to the best of my abilities.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
At this time, we will entertain nominations for mayor.
I'd like to nominate current Mayor Mark Jorfy for mayor for 2023.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, I'll take a roll call vote. Mr. Grayzel,
Yes.
Ms. Gariglia,
Yes.
Mr. Jorfi,
Yes.
Mr. Ravitz,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations. We're going to have the our township attorney, Jared Cantor, is going to administer the oath, and the Bible will be held by Mayor Jorfi's wife, Kelly.
I'm not sure how we could share a microphone, Mayor. Do you, Mark J. Jorfy, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and will bear faith and allegiance to the same, and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, so help you God?
I do.
Repeat after me. I, Mark J. Jorfy,
I, Mark J. Jorfy,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all of the duties
of the position of mayor
of the position of mayor
of the Township Committee
of the Township Committee
of the Township of Morris
of the Township of Morris,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mayor. Congratulations.
Seat warrant for you. Next, we will entertain nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor of the Township Committee, and I will nominate Bud Ravitz, Committeeman, for Deputy Mayor of 2023. Are there any other nominations? Oh, I'm sorry, can I have a second for that?
I'll second that nomination.
Thank you, Mr. Grayzel. Are there any other nominations for the position of Deputy Mayor? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, may we please have a roll call vote?
Mr. Grayzel,
Yes.
Ms. Gariglia,
Yes.
Mr. Ravitz,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Mayor Jorfi.
Yes. The administration of, congratulations, Mr. Ravitz. The administration of the oath of office will be done by James Ravitz, Esquire. And I'll invite other members of the Ravitz family to come up.
Do you, William Ravitz, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and will bear faith and allegiance to the same, and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, so help you God.
So help me God.
Repeat after me, please. I, William V. Ravitz,
I, William V. Ravitz,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
will faithfully and impartially and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the position of Deputy Mayor of the Township Committee
of the position of Deputy Mayor of the Township Committee
of the Township of Morris
of the Township of Morris
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's really nice to see so many people here. We haven't seen this large of a crowd in a very long time, since before COVID. So it's a pleasure to have you all here in our municipal building. And we encourage you to join us every month on the third Wednesday of the month if you enjoy tonight's ceremony so much. But just to give you a brief rundown, because I know we have a lot of family and friends from out of town who are here. But we will next move into commentary from the members of this governing body. Afterwards, we will then go into our list of resolutions of appointments for the year 2023. Following that, we'll have a benediction and then we'll adjourn. So with that, I will go into some brief remarks for 2023, my second year as mayor. I would just like to first thank the residents of Morris Township for their faith in me when they elected me in 2021, and for the faith from my colleagues on the Township Committee for this year and last year, for their confidence in my ability to continue leading our governing body in 2023. I'd like to also recognize and thank my wife, Kelly, who's been so supportive for me, not only last year as mayor, but every year I've had on the Township Committee and through campaigning and through the fire department. Kelly has had to deal with a lot of nights where I wasn't home and a lot of nights where the pager went off and has woken you up, including last night. She has been just so supportive for me over the years, and I can't thank you enough, Kelly. I'd also like to thank my family. My parents, John and Barbara, are here. I grew up in Morris Township. I grew up on Alexandria Road. They're still there. And because of them is why I love Morris Township so much and being able to grow in such a great neighborhood and a great community. Thank you to you two for your patience with me over the past several years as well. I'd also like to shout out my siblings, Alexandra and JT are online, I think, and my brother-in-law, Jimmy, and my uncle, Johnny, who is the reason why I got into politics in the beginning. I want to thank them as well. I'd like to also provide a special thanks to Sister Maris Larkin, who had to leave right after her invocation. But Sister Maris has been part of the Assumption family for over 45 years and has run the school as its principal for over 25. Under her leadership, Assumption School was recognized in 2014 by the Department of Education as a National Blue Ribbon School for its academic achievements. Sister Maris's work has transformed the lives of students in our community like myself for decades through faith, determination, and respect. Three things I think we all wish we could see more this day and age. Thank you, Sister Maris, for commencing this evening's ceremony and for starting us off on a high note in 2023. I'd next like to congratulate Deputy Mayor Bud Ravitz on your election for your first term and leadership on the Township Committee. I'm looking forward to working with you closely as we prepare meeting agendas month after month. I'd also like to congratulate Committeewoman Kathy Wilson, our new Deputy Mayor of Public Outreach, on your new position and your new lead position on the Township Committee. No one can doubt your enthusiasm advocating for our residents across the township, and I think this title is more than fitting for your role on our governing body. It's been an honor serving with you over the past year as you served as Deputy Mayor in 2022. I'd also like to congratulate our former Mayor, Jeff Grazel, on your reelection and returning to the dais this evening with us. I'm looking forward to working with you on behalf of our residents. And I'd also like to congratulate Committeewoman Gariglia, who Even though you were sworn in last year, this is your first reorg meeting, and you rightfully deserve recognition tonight too, now that everyone is here. Thank you for all of your service for Morris Township. And lastly, for committee recognition, I can't go without recognizing our former mayor and our mayor emeritus, Peter Mancuso, who's also with us tonight. We recognize Peter. It was such a pleasure recognizing Peter last month at our December meeting. We had so many members of the public come out. Peter's been a steadfast leader in Morris Township for decades, and in many ways was served as the conscience of our governing body for many years. Peter, thank you for being here with us tonight. Thank you for being here for our community. You're a world-class person, and I'm lucky to be able to call you my friend. So thank you for coming tonight. I'd also like to acknowledge dignitaries who are here this evening. It's always great to see our neighbors come join us for our meetings because we don't always get to see each other because our meeting schedules often overlap. But I wanted to recognize Commissioner Christine Myers, who's here, Mayors Jason Carr and Bob Conley, who are here, Council VP Nathan Umberak from Morristown, Committee Woman and County Democratic Chair Amalia Duarte from Mendham Township, and as well as Chris Williams from Congresswoman Cheryl's office. I also want to recognize Fire Chief Mike Nunn, and members of our Morris Minutemen, Linda Omaggio, Lee Bender, and other members from the Minutemen. Thank you for being here. Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill sends her regrets, as did Senator Bucco and Assemblywoman Dunn, who were unable to attend. Lastly, if you don't think my list of people to thank is long enough, I wanted to thank all of you here for being here in person tonight and for joining us to celebrate the ceremonies. It's been an honor to serving as mayor over the past year. Last year, this Township Committee worked together as a team in a bipartisan manner to continue putting our residents first. We took steps to make our neighborhood safer and more walkable by installing traffic calming devices and budgeting sidewalk extensions that will soon be shovel ready. We took steps to reduce our impact on our environment by being one of the first towns in the state to require all new high-density residential buildings be all electric, and by purchasing new hybrid vehicles for our police department. In addition to planting over 100 trees along roadways in the township, we also took steps to expand our open space and open the door to sourcing more electricity from more renewable resources. We activated a neighborhood around a playground reconstruction project in Collinsville through public outreach efforts, being made possible by millions of dollars in federal funding. We made our public meetings for this body and our volunteer boards more accessible through the purchasing of an installation of state-of-the-art video conferencing equipment for members of the public and volunteer members to participate. The governing body also took steps to go beyond advocating for our residents at a local level, but we went to a regional and state level too. We worked with state legislators to introduce bills in the state assembly and senate to establish more stringent public notice requirements for developers, and we've worked to introduce legislation guaranteeing access to free cancer screenings for volunteer firefighters across the state. Lastly, we worked with Representative Cheryl's office to secure over $500,000 of federal funding for the Collinsville Playground Reconstruction Project. As we head into 2023, it is clear that we will face difficult financial challenges that will require us to press pause on certain initiatives in order to preserve others. Not unlike neighboring towns, as we finally started seeing light at the end of the tunnel for our public finances last year, we are now standing here left grappling with health insurance premium increases of over 20% for 2023. That's nearly $800,000 of a burden on Morris Township taxpayers alone, and $200,000 on our employees who incur those costs on their own. Those we relied on most during the darkest days of the COVID-19 pandemic are now bringing home less this year, even with raises factored in. Add in pension and prescription drug increases, and our taxpayers, unfortunately, are facing over $1 million in costs that we didn't have in 2022. So our challenge for 2023 is clear. We have to provide benefits for our employees who deserve them. We have to protect the services for our residents who depend on them. And we have to continue investing in our community's future. All of this while shouldering the burden of dramatic increases in non-discretionary spending. Thanks to the dedication of the members of this committee, the diligent work and sound advice from our professionals, including Mr. Quinn, Mr. Cantor, Ms. McDonald, and our CFO, Francine DeAngelis, along with our department heads, I'm confident in our ability to provide our residents in 2023 in a thoughtful, disciplined way to limit the impact of these financial hardships while continuing to prepare and invest in our future needs. Though our membership has changed since last year, our duties remain the same. I'm looking forward to working with all of you over the next 12 months in order to do what's best for Morris Township. Thank you very much, and I'll recognize Deputy Mayor Bud Rabbits.
Well, that's a tough one to follow, but I will be uncharacteristically brief tonight, 2 months in a row, which makes it something special. Welcome, friends, relatives, distinguished guests, and members of the community. Happy New Year. And thank you for your participation in our local community government. National politics always gets all the spotlight, but it's what we do here locally that has the biggest economic and quality of life impact on our lives. Before I go any further, I do want to recognize my family that's here. My mother, Bernice, who held the U.S. Constitution while I took the oath of office. My brother, James, who administered the oath of office. My nephew, Aaron. And of course, my campaign manager, my chief of staff, my grammarian, and the love of my life, Lee Schwartzberg. So thank you. I'm honored to be selected by the Township Committee to serve as Deputy Mayor this year. As the mayor stated, we have our work cut out for us. We are entering into one of the most challenging times in recent memory. Be assured that the members of the Township Committee are ready and able to meet these challenges. We may not be able to accomplish all that we would have liked to have imagined, but I'm confident that we will no doubt come out of these trying times stronger and smarter. We will not kick the can down the road to a future governing body by failing to make the tough decisions this year. Together with our professionals and department heads, we have the experience and vision to see a stronger and better township emerge for the future. We speak of New Year's resolutions this time of year. So here's one to think about. If each day we resolve to be a better person than we were the day before, we've in fact resolved to make the world a better place. Let's not marginalize or demonize the people who have less political or economic power that some of us might now enjoy. Rather, let's stand up to those who continue to profit from our division. We have more in common than should ever divide us, and we have to learn or relearn to talk to each other and not at each other. Amplifying misinformation, hateful, or violent rhetoric is not part of any civil discourse. Lastly, remember, as you go about your business each day, just to be kind to yourselves, kind to others. It's a trickle-down strategy that actually works. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Ravitz. I did want to recognize one other person who I missed over. Councilman Ben Weissman from Boonton is also here tonight. I will now turn it over to Council Committee Woman Kathy Wilson.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I invite all of you to join us at all of our meetings. As many of you know, I've had a long-standing passion for the importance of civics, the responsibilities all of us have as citizens to making our democracy work. While citizenship is lauded as a virtue, my own on-the-ground experience is that it's not always so welcome in reality. A lasting legacy of that experience for me is that I'm very tuned in to making sure that residents who do choose to participate find their experience to be not only informative, but inviting. Looking to the year ahead, I see that the good Lord has positioned me well to draw on my experiences from both sides of this dais. I'm viewing my new honorary role as Deputy Mayor for Public Outreach as a great opportunity to work together with all of you, colleagues, staff, and residents, to find new ways of combining good civics with good governance. I love what this says about our values as a community, and I'm happy to lead that charge. A couple of examples. When it comes to best practices on outreach with the public, a huge asset for us is our work with the Sustainable Jersey program. We were very proud this past year to have earned certification through this widely respected program, and we plan to continue our work with SJ in the year ahead. On a related note, our Environmental Commission has made phenomenal contributions to serving as a positive change agent for our community over the past couple of years. One example, as part of their review of the Red Bulls proposal, our EC brought to everyone's attention the lighting standards of a respected organization called the International Dark Skies Association. IDA lighting standards point the way to a win-win balance between the needs of the applicant and the community. These standards were adopted by the Red Bulls at their new facility and enthusiastically endorsed by their lighting expert, who incidentally called our EC's site report the best he's ever seen. Looking to the year ahead, we are now working to codify similar IDA-inspired lighting standards for our town. Kudos to our EC for getting this important initiative rolling. Another great example of effective outreach with the public is the visioning work our Economic Development Advisory Committee has done regarding the Madison Avenue corridor. Over this past year, EDAC sought to gather input regarding our community's vision for the future of this corridor. They followed their online survey with small group discussions at a visioning workshop. This approach, which we've never done before, was widely applauded as a highly effective way to support positive public involvement on an important community issue. EDAC has worked very hard to synthesize all of the input they've gathered. Later this month, they'll be sharing their findings with all of us. I'm expecting our planning board to play a lead role in implementing those visioning recommendations in the year ahead. Finally, I want to comment on the work of our Senior Citizens Advisory Committee, CCAC, a new committee we established this past year. CCAC's purpose is to identify the needs of our seniors and recommend ways to address those needs. Lest you think this committee's work affects only a few of us old folks in town, many of us were astonished recently to learn that Morris Township's population includes 6,835 residents age 60 or older, nearly 30% of our population. Who knew? Two coming attractions of CCAC's work include: we'll soon be posting new website content, which will provide one-stop access to resources of interest to seniors: medical, transportation, housing, community, and recreation. We've also developed a needs survey, which we'll be sharing with the public via the messenger and the press very soon, as in next week or the week after. I strongly encourage everyone who's part of this 1 in 3 age group to take advantage of this important opportunity to share your input. In the year ahead, CCAC plans to obtain further input from our community by conducting small group discussions as well, similar in format to what EDAC did. Please plan to join us for those discussions. As with all the outreach we'll be doing this year on many different topics, your input is needed and welcome. Here's to a great year. God bless.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Wilson. Committeewoman Gariglia.
Thank you, Mayor. I too am going to start out. I have a couple thank yous, and the first one is to Committeeman Jeff Grazel. I want to congratulate and welcome Jeff back on the Township Committee. Jeff was a mentor during our campaign, and his knowledge and experience serving the township will certainly enhance the makeup of the committee. I'd also like to thank Deputy Mayor Kathy Wilson, who was the catalyst to my participation and quickly brought me up to speed on the many committees and areas of concern the township faced. Acknowledging Kathy's connection to our residents in the new role she will take on as the Deputy Mayor of Public Outreach is a perfect position for her to fill. I would also be remiss if I didn't just shout out to former committeeman Peter Mancuso for your leadership for the 21 years that you served. I know with the leadership team we have in place for 2023, we are in good hands. Mayor Jorfe's ability to lead us through some of the tough financial decisions in front of us is critical. It will take considerable expertise and fortitude to determine not only best practice, but also the best creative solutions to meet our budget with the least possible impact to protect our services. Committee member Ravitz, stepping up as deputy mayor, brings a positive perspective to our team. He is the thoughtful, caring individual who leads with his own kindness, striving to make our township more welcoming and inclusive. I would also like to thank and acknowledge Town Administrator Tim Quinn and our professionals and support staff. They are as devoted to advancing the goals of the township as every committee member and provide us with the necessary information needed when addressing many of our issues and concerns. And to you, our township residents, thank you for being engaged, civic-minded shareholders who do care about the future of Morris Township, and you are willing to voice your opinions and provide input. As I look forward to the coming year, I am excited to join some new committees. I am ready to work with the committee members with renewed dedication to ensure Morris Township moves forward, overcoming any challenges and offering residents a more advanced way of doing things. We will see continuing new technology and innovation and must allow more creative ideas to end some of the set in stone practices of the past. With more diverse input and communication from those who don't all come from the same mindset, we offer more clarity and commitment to change for the better. We should be held accountable for sound policy decisions. Your trust and belief in our values, ethics, and purpose is needed for transformational leadership and a positive culture of good government. Leaders have to be risk takers, and many times there is conflict between our conscience and the result of the deliberations on a specific issue, and yet we have to cast the vote we feel is best to better serve the community as a whole. We all take this very seriously and try to be as impartial as we can to clearly make the right call. We may not always make the right call. We make the best decision after weighing all applicable data, knowing there will always be tough choices, but as elected officials, we're here to serve you. For 2023, my plan is to help meet the financial challenges with the most reasonable budget possible. Going through the budget process already with the thoughtfulness, guidance, and input from staff has proven to highlight the level of collaboration we all share. We will do our best to protect all services as we navigate through the coming year. I thank you for the opportunity to serve and hope my input will help guide us in keeping Morris Township the great community that it is. All the best to you and your families in the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Committeewoman Griglia. Committeeman Jeff Grazel.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, friends and neighbors. I am honored to be seated again here on this dais representing the citizens of Morris Township. This is my fourth term on the Township Committee, and I am humbled by the continuing support of the voters who have elected me multiple times over the course of 16 years. And it's been that long because I've served actually 4 non-consecutive terms on this body. I'll take a moment to remind everyone why I first ran for office. It was not because I wanted to get involved in politics. Rather, it was because I was a resident who felt I was not being listened to and not properly represented. So instead of just complaining, I decided to run for office and try to affect change. Thus, I do not view myself as a politician, but rather as a public servant representing my fellow residents in our town. And to that end, it is very important for me to hear from people on issues that are important to them. I answer every single email I get, and I have tried to help resolve the issues that people have and the problems they are dealing with. Do not ever hesitate to contact me if there's anything you would like to discuss or get my opinion on. I'd like to say a few words about this governing body, of which I am a proud member. Congratulations to Mayor Mark Jorfy and Deputy Mayor Bud Ravitz. We're all here to support both of you and to make this a very successful year for all of us. Thank you to my running mate, Donna Gorglia, and I'm still learning to pronounce your name properly. I'll get there. For being a partner in our successful election campaign this past November. You bring a lot to the table, and I am really looking forward to working with you and seeing all the things that you can accomplish here in Morris Township. And I want to be clear that the titles of mayor and deputy mayor do not reflect the relative amount of work that other committee members do to support our town. I would personally like to recognize Committeewoman and former Mayor Kathy Wilson for all of her tremendous work on our governing body over the course of the 6 years she has sat up here. Kathy has been a driving force behind so many initiatives, most recently the formation of the Senior Citizens Advisory Committee and the certification of Morris Township in Sustainable Jersey, as she mentioned. But prior to that, she was a driving force behind televising our meetings. She was the one who really pushed for that and started doing it herself to get it going. And also the formation of the Transportation Advisory Committee that we call TAC. So her new role driving public outreach is just a continuation of all that she has strived for over the course of her 6 years. I think it is a very appropriate title for you to have. This governing body worked hard at getting things done over the past few years, and 2023 will bring many, many more accomplishments from all of us. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our municipal employees, all of whom do a great job running our town on a day-to-day basis. We are lucky to live in a town that is so well run. Our administration, our department heads, and our employees all do a great job. Township Administrator Tim Quinn is fantastic and runs a very efficient operation. All our department heads are to be commended for their dedication and the great jobs they do on a day-to-day basis. And I am thankful for the dedicated employees who provide the quality services that our representatives residents have come to expect. I look forward to working with all of the employees this year and in the coming years. So I'm excited to get to work for our town. I remind everybody that we always try to have residents' best interests in mind when we make any type of decision here. All of us on this dais are here to work for you and with you to make our town the great place that it is for all of us to live in. You may not agree with all of our decisions all of the time, but I hope that you will have a good understanding of every decision that we do make, and I will strive to do my part to ensure that happens. And I have left my thank yous for the end, not at the beginning. I want to thank my son Jacob for joining us here tonight. I am so very proud of you, and I hope I have set a good example for both you and your brother Alex, who couldn't be with us tonight. I want to thank my family members for all the support through the years and for watching this ceremony here through Zoom from several states. And lastly, I want to thank everybody who has joined us here in person in the room and on Zoom from the community. I very much appreciate your participation in this meeting, and I wish everyone a happy and healthy 2023.
Thank you, Committeeman Grizel. Next, we'll be moving on to our agenda items. We have 12 resolutions. However, Madam Clerk, I'm going to ask that we go out of order and pull Resolution 02-23, resolution naming Kathy Wilson as Deputy Mayor for Public Outreach, and ask that if you read the title of the resolution and as well as the full resolution to the audience, please.
Would you like to do that one first? Or...
Yes, we'll do that one first, and we'll vote separately. So do I need Mr. Cantor, do I need a motion to do that? Or can we just do it?
No, Mayor, you have the clerk read the resolution
Right.
and then move it.
Thank you.
Thank you for reminding me. Okay, Resolution 02-23, resolution creating the honorary position of Deputy Mayor for Public Outreach for 2023 and naming Catherine Wilson as the Deputy Mayor for Public Outreach. Whereas it is a key function of the members of the Township Committee of the Township of Morris, and particularly of the Township's Mayor and Deputy Mayor, to regularly interact with members of the public, to keep the residents of Morris Township informed about key governmental decisions and developments impacting them, and to gather information and insight from those residents to better inform decision-making in and for the township. And whereas it would be of tremendous value to the members of the Township Committee, including the mayor and deputy mayor, to designate a particular member of the Township Committee to hold enhanced responsibility with respect to such public outreach, so that Township leadership is well positioned to effectively govern is a transparent and responsive manner. And whereas throughout her tenure on the Morris Township Committee, including as a mayor and deputy mayor, Catherine Wilson has demonstrated exceptional talent and dedication with respect to public outreach. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the honorary position of Deputy Mayor for Public Outreach be and is hereby established for the calendar year of 2023. And be it further resolved that the position of Deputy Mayor of Public Outreach is an honorary position based on Catherine Wilson's exceptional talent and dedication with respect to public outreach, but does not confer any of those same responsibilities that are associated with the traditional deputy mayor position appointed at the reorganizational meeting. And be it further resolved that Catherine Wilson be and hereby is appointed to the honorary position of deputy mayor for public outreach for 2023.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'll entertain a motion to introduce this resolution and adopt it.
So moved.
I'd be honored to move that.
Second.
Okay. Madam Clerk, can we please have a roll call?
Mr. Grayzel,
Yes.
Ms. Gariglia,
Yes.
Mr. Ravitz,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Mayor Jorfi.
Yes.
Yeah. I just like to say thank you. I'm honored, and I look forward to working together with all of you in the year ahead. Thank you.
We're going to go on to the rest of the
Yes.
resolutions.
So I'll now entertain a motion to introduce and vote and block the remaining 11 resolutions. So resolutions 01-23, 03-23 through
12.
12-23. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Is there a motion to now vote?
Do I have to read them by title first?
Mr. Cantor?
Traditionally, we have, then yes. I mean,
Okay. Do you want me?
If
Okay.
you could please read them all.
Resolution number 01-23, establishing 14 standing committees and appointing members to same for the period of January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. Resolution number 03-23, establishing the following appointments to positions created by statute and/or ordinance of the Township of Morris. Resolution number 04-23, appointing officers of the Police Department of the Township of Morris for the period of January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. Resolution 05-23, appointing officers of the Fire Department of the Township of Morris for the period of January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. Resolution 06-23, appointing members to positions for the Office of Emergency Management. Resolution 07-23, appointing professionals for the Township of Morris for the period of January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2023. Resolution 08-23 is our meeting schedule for the year 2023. Resolution 09-23, authorizing certain public officials of the township to carry on banking matters on behalf of the township. Resolution 10-23, authorizing a cash management plan as submitted by the municipal finance officer. Resolution 11-23 is our temporary operating budget. Resolution 12-23, establishing interest rate delinquent taxes and sewer fees.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. May I please have a roll call?
Oh, we need a motion.
Do we have another motion?
Second?
Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Mr. Grayzel,
Yes.
Ms. Gariglia,
Yes.
Mr. Ravitz,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Mayor Dorfy.
Yes. As we move into the closing of our meeting, again, I'd just like to thank everyone who came out tonight for being here, especially to our residents for being here. You're always welcome to join us each and every month, as well as joining our volunteer boards and commissions who meet throughout each week. You can join on Zoom, you can join in person. As said by members of the Township Committee, we recognize, we honor, we enjoy interacting with the public. We respect your input, and we always invite more of you to come out and help us run Morris Township and help us make decisions on behalf of our township. So with that, I will turn it over to Deputy Mayor Ravitz to introduce Reverend Joe Miller for our benediction.
Thank you, Mayor. It's my pleasure to introduce Joel Miller, the interim minister from the Morristown Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, to offer the closing benediction this evening. Before coming to Morristown, Joel served in congregations in Buffalo, Oregon, Baton Rouge, California, and Littleton, Colorado, where he was the minister at the Columbine Unitarian Universal Church, which was just a block away from the high school shootings when they happened all those years ago. One of the most important thread that ties all these congregations together is they all deeply respect and value democracy. So on that note, I invite Reverend Miller up to give the closing benediction.
We have gathered under the spirit of community, a spirit of love, a presence that goes by many names, but is beyond all names human beings are able to imagine. And now let us pray. Let everything we do now be a prayer to you. May all our prayers witness the dedication and the promise of ourselves, and especially of these neighbors who have accepted the trust and faith of the people. And in this prayer, we remind them the spirit of life and love is always with us and with you. Remember this as you honor and serve our community, its laws, and the well-being of all the people within it. In our town, we have built halls of governance, halls of justice, halls of maintenance, especially for a town. And in these halls, many generations of people have served. There will be many who come seeking justice. Others want protection. All of us, we hope, want fairness and equitable protection of all these services. We want this for ourselves. Let us find it for ourselves, each one of us here today, by providing it to one another. And we know, Spirit, yes, we know, even as we act, we must act if we will serve. We sometimes miss the mark. Our efforts sometimes go wrong, so we ask, remembering your abiding presence, let us seek forgiveness and make amends when it is ours to do. Renew our spirits when times are difficult. Give us deep understanding when we must judge. Give us a gentle strength when we must decide or set consequences for choices others make in error. Inspire us to action. Challenge our clumsy comforts and assumptions. And let us always, as a community, reach our hands out in loving kindness to one another. This is our prayer for this moment of honor, for our town, for our democracy, for all people. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Miller. With that, our meeting is coming to a close. We do have light refreshments in our conference room behind the Township Committee room, and we invite everyone here to join us afterwards. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. The next Township Committee meeting will be held on Wednesday, January 18th, 2023 at 7 p.m. in person and via Zoom here in the Municipal Building. Have a good night, everyone. Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being here. Where's my gavel?